I'm Meredith with XT, and today I'm talking with Derek about his Tundra. Thank you so much for joining with me today.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get right into it. So to kind of give everybody a brief overview of your truck and what you're working with, again, you have the 2021 Toyota Tundra TRD Sport. The wheels are an 18 by 9 inch method MR305 NV wheel in bronze with a positive 25 millimeter offset. You have the LT 275/70 R18 Nitto Ridge Grappler hybrid terrain tires, which is equivalent to a 33 by 11. And then for suspension, you have the Supreme Suspensions 3-inch front, 2-inch rear Pro Billet lift kit. It's a very clean setup. What made you choose this combo?
So I use my truck for what a truck is intended. So I'd love to have a big jacked up truck, but it just doesn't fit for me. So I wanted to stay mild. Tundras ride really nice from the factory, and I didn't want to mess with that too much.
Do you do any lighter off-roading, or is it just kind of like a daily driver for you?
It's a daily driver. I pull trailers, do a lot of firewood work with it, pulling a UTV. We do some camping with it. So the overall direction that I'm kind of going with the truck is like an overland build. It's just slowly getting there.
So starting off with the wheels, Derek has the 18 by 9 inch method MR305 NV wheels with a positive 25 millimeter offset. Why did you choose this wheel?
The color is really what picked it for me. I thought that the bronze really offset with the green. And then the offset, Tundras have a weird offset from factory. And if you don't do a plus offset, they rub a lot. And so they were just a great fit.
Yeah, and it still gives it a pretty good stance with the 25 millimeter offset. It's not like super stock, it's more flush with the fender.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Now, why did you go with this style? It's a multi-spoke design with almost like a simulated beadlock. Why did you go with this particular look?
Well, you just hit it on the head, actually. It's a beadlock. I wanted the look of a beadlock, and that just gave it to me really nicely. I sought out Method. I've always heard that they were a solid company, and I've liked their wheels, very innovative. I wanted a bronze wheel, so I picked out what was bronze, and this was the best looking one out of the bunch.
Well, it seemed like it worked out super well for you, and it got the look that you were going for. Now, why did you choose an 18 by 9 inch wheel?
Just fitment. I like a little bit of rim, a lot of tire.
So with the 9 inch width, paired with the 25 millimeters of offset, it gives you a flush stance. Is that what you were looking to accomplish? Something like a little bit wider than stock, should I say?
Yeah, I wanted to go a little bit wider than stock, but not so much that I run up in the mountains hunting and stuff, and I don't want it all flying back on my truck. So I wanted to try to stay in the fender wells as best as possible, but still give it that stance. You
kind of mentioned the 18-inch wheel with the 33-inch tire as far as the sidewall is concerned. Are you happy with the sidewall?
Yes. We went with a higher load range because of towing. And so I was a little worried about the ride on that, but it turned out okay.
Well, speaking of the tires, let's get right into them. So again, you have the LT 275/70 R18 Nitto Ridge Grappler hybrid terrain tire, which is equivalent to a 33 by 11. So you were saying that you use a Tundra for a lot of towing. Is that kind of why you chose this tire?
That, yes, they offered a load range that would work for the weights I was towing, but also the off-road performance is there. If I do get into any major off-road situations, it's going to perform, but they also perform very well on the road. They're not super loud. They're quiet. So it's just a good, well-rounded tire for what I was looking for.
Is that why you kind of stuck with a hybrid tire compared to like a more aggressive mud terrain?
Yes. Yep.
Now, you said you kind of daily drive it as well. How does it treat you on the road as far as drivability is concerned with the tires?
Excellent. This truck has been driven from the East Coast across the country to Yellowstone, and it performed flawlessly. I'm very pleased with them. I will probably never go with a different brand and type again.
Now, why did you go with the 33 or more specifically a 275/70?
Again, that was all fitment, just because the Tundra can be finicky with its fitment because of the offset. To go with a bigger tire, I would have to increase my offset, which then would start poking the tire outside the fender. Then I'm looking at trying to add fender flares and have them paint matched correctly. So it kind of was just like the perfect storm.
Now, how did the tires feel compared to the stock tires? Obviously, they are a little bit more knobby, but it sounds like they're still remaining pretty comfortable.
I feel more confident, in sticky situations. As far as it affecting the ride, it didn't get worse and it didn't get better. They hit the nail on the head with that, but it gives me confidence. Like I said, I'm hauling firewood. I'm in the woods hunting. I am getting into off-road situations, just not extreme off-roading, but it gives me the confidence that I'm going to be able to make it where I'm going.
Now, with the upgrade to the larger tire size, did you have to do any recalibration to the speedometer? Did you have to do anything in order to accommodate for that larger size?
Yeah, the speedometer, I haven't recalibrated it yet, but as far as like the rear end, going up to this size really didn't affect my power band at all. We also have a lifted Jeep that has bigger tires on it, and I can feel on that vehicle, it needs rear geared. This truck, it doesn't need re-geared. It's a perfect setup. Aside from having the speedometer recalibrated, you don't lose any performance at all with this setup.
Sounds like you really did your research when it came to this setup.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks / months of researching lifts. Do I go all out with a full-blown suspension lift? Do I just do a little lift and just fit the tires under there?
Well, speaking of the suspension, let's get into it. So again, you have the Supreme Suspensions 3-inch front, 2-inch rear Pro Billet lift kit. Why this one?
So I went with this lift just to keep it practical. I wanted to fit some off-road tires under there, some bigger tires, some nicer wheels, but I wasn't looking for massive off-road capability. I'm not rock crawling, I'm not mudding. So 2 inches in the rear and 3 inches in the front gave me a nice level ride, and I was able to fit those wheels and tires under there.
Now, as far as the fitment is concerned, have you had any fitment issues with the tires in conjunction with the lift kit that you're running?
None at all. Ride's really nice. Retained its factory ride, and in forward and reverse, I can turn full lock left or right, no rubbing. Couldn't ask for a better fitment.
That's awesome. Now, is there a reason why you chose Supreme Suspensions?
I've used them in the past, never had an issue. They're an affordable option and a solid build, great company. So their reputation preceded them.
And it looks good too. The truck looks very level, and you can see that even when you're towing, you should still be able to have a lot of room in the rear. Yeah.
And so with a 2-inch, I mean, if you do some research with 2 inches in the rear, you still rake a little bit. Your rear end's still going to be a little higher. Which I was trying to get rid of, but because my truck has a cap, that extra weight was something I took into account, and that kind of keeps it level. But towing, I don't get a ton of, it doesn't squat, so I'm happy.
How do you like the way that it looks with the wheels, the tires, suspension, everything combined? Are you happy with the build?
I'm extremely happy with the build.
Now, if you were to kind of backtrack to day one, step one, would you have done anything differently?
No, there's nothing I would do differently.
Now, do you have any future plans for this as far as the setup is concerned, or are you just kind of riding it out and happy where it is?
We're going to do some racks on the roof, and we're going to color match the front end. The front end of the truck is chrome right now. That's probably the very next thing to happen, because I think that really will bring the whole look that I'm going for together.
Definitely. Are you going for the grill too?
Yes, yeah. I want no chrome, all gone.
Thank you so much for sharing all your information and all of your build with us. So again, Derek has the 2021 Toyota Tundra TRD Sport, the 18x9 method MR305 NV wheels in bronze with a positive 25 millimeter offset, the LT 275/70 R18 Nitto Ridge Grappler hybrid terrain tire, which is equivalent to a 33x11, and the Supreme Suspensions 3-inch front, 2-inch rear Pro Billet lift kit. Thank you so much again for speaking with me.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Of course, and for all things Tundra, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.